Hello, my friends. Hello, Iacon City. We all deserve a little fun. Tomorrow is the Iacon 5000.
I wanted to do a race that can only happen in this film. And that means Transformers taking advantage of the fact that they're Transformers. So they can transform in and out of bipedal mode to vehicles to try and get across that finish line. And to have Orion Pax and D16 try and show that they are just as worthy by entering that race, even though they can't transform, tells you a lot about their character and their drive.
Welcome to the Iacon 5000. There they are. Put your hands together as today's competitors are taking the field.
It's kind of the first big action thing we have in the film, and that kind of also sets up their bonding, their friendships, and then, you know instantly that they'd do anything to help each other. They're bonded friends.
Orion Pax, he was a minor bot that was basically passed over by society and was seen as disposable, and this was his chance to prove everybody wrong. And so there was a lot of excitement, a lot of fun, a lot of action in that sequence.
On your marks.
It allows you to really get into sort of the highlights of the yearly routine of this planet in a very colorful and dynamic way, and see a lot of Transformers.
We took inspiration from Formula One, so it was kind of interesting to explore what would obviously be the ultimate sporting event for a bunch of Cybertronian bots to go and watch.
I can't believe we get to watch from the starting line. The best seats in the house. Why'd you bring jetpacks?
So then we had the challenge of designing a race where two robots that couldn't fly, couldn't roll, didn't have the ability to transform, could somehow keep up with real Transformers who could do all of those things.
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
Oh, no.
We had to create this amazing world that had to fit in conjunction with the Iacon 5000. So we followed them from the very beginning of that starting line through different parts of Iacon City.
At storyboard phases, we're all a little bit overwhelmed by it, I have to be honest, thinking, how are we going to get this done? It's the crowds, it's the transformations of the characters, it's the transformations of the environments, it's the epic number of performances that we've got within the scene, it's the sheer volume of the city. It took quite some time in production, but you just break it down and move through it, and the end result speaks for itself. It's stunning.
Are those miners in the race?
The road itself moves constantly. It's transforming out in front of the racers, so even the racers don't know exactly where they're going.
And this transforming road would come out through the city and take us through this like whirlwind of obstacles.
The production of the race in Transformers 1 was really hard.
The filmmakers and the writers and Josh had a lot of creativity. Even our previous camera department, the art department, they're like, wow, we can do anything.
Josh wanted us to just brainstorm out obstacle design. So we did bridges, we made narrow corridors of buildings so you can feel that speed.
We added EMP cannons that are shooting at the racers. It was important that this race felt fast all the time, making sure that the pattern in the road had a repeatable look to it, so we really get a sense of the speed.
I can't believe we're not in last.
Suddenly the road will stop and they have to free fall down 20 stories down into the next part of the race. And then also sparks help a ton. Somebody gets hit and the sparks get left behind, so you get a really sense of how fast they're moving. We really tried to throw everything possible at these racers.
We actually used obstacle course races as a guide of what can we do, where you do multiple things in the same race. We were looking at visual live action references of that, so the board artist would take an idea and go off with it.
We had to storyboard the whole thing and then craft this in editorial to a place where it was manageable for ILM and our head of layout, Chris Batty.
I would say we employed a lot of experimentation. There were a lot of different versions. As the story evolved, it kind of needed to do several different things. We tried to just experiment and play around with what this sort of fantastical sci-fi race can be. And so we played with different road types, we played with different obstacles.
And then getting all these different ideas into the Avid, and then me and my team, we'd all work hard on trying to build it.
Once we got into sort of the animation and each of the characters transforming, it was just complex all over the place. The choreography of everything, and for it to cut in a nice pace, also presented its challenges.
They go through a tunnel. There's like crashes that happen. There's like this open and closing door, which actually like Swiss cheeses some of the characters to death. We did a lot of brainstorming to sort of figure out what was the alchemy, what was the perfect science and balance to make sure that all those pinnacle points are being reached inside the race. And the last thing we pitched was this final obstacle with magnets.
It was almost like a pure action movie. We were just trying to show speed and dynamics through the whole thing. But towards the end, I think we kind of got a little bit more objective, because what we wanted to do is show both of them in the same shot at the same time a lot more, especially when they're trying to navigate that very last obstacle, because they're working together.
Because you really want to track them, track what's happening to them. Are they helping each other during the race? Does one of them go down? One of them helps the other up.
No, go, leave me.
No, we do this together.
We had to build every single moment in that story and let Chris Batty drive that with the camera and making sure that all those obstacles were working.
It was the biggest sequence in our movie.
We have a winner!
It definitely was an adventure putting that sequence together.
Well, second place is still pretty good.